Fear. It's the shadow that lingers at the edge of every dream, the whisper that holds you back when you stand at the precipice of greatness. It's the weight in your chest when you think of stepping into the unknown, the voice that says, "What if you fail? What if you're not enough?" You've felt it. I've felt it. Every soul who has ever dared to dream has felt it. But here's the truth, the unyielding, unshakable truth. Fear is not your master. It is not your destiny. It is not the end of your story. You are. And today, you will learn how to destroy fear forever, not by running from it, not by hiding, but by facing it with the fire of discipline, the clarity of purpose, and the unbreakable will to act. Imagine this, a life where fear no longer holds the reins, a life where you wake each morning not with hesitation, but with a burning resolve to chase your vision, to build your legacy, to become the person you were born to be. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a vast canyon, the wind howling, the abyss below calling you to retreat. But instead of stepping back, you leap, because you know that on the other side lies everything you've ever wanted. That leap is not the absence of fear, it's the mastery of it. And that mastery begins now. Let's go back to a moment in time, a moment when a man stood at his own canyon's edge. His name was Thomas Edison. The world knows him as the inventor of the light bulb, the man who illuminated the darkness. But what the world often forgets is the darkness he faced within himself. Thousands of failures. Thousands of experiments that led nowhere, mockery from those who called him a fool, doubt that gnawed at his resolve. Yet Edison didn't conquer fear by waiting for it to vanish. He conquered it by acting, by persisting, by disciplining his mind to focus on the next step, not the endless what-ifs. He once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That is the mindset of a man who refused to let fear write his story. You see, fear is not a wall. It's a fog. It clouds your vision, distorts your path, makes the road ahead seem impossible, but when you take a single step forward, the fog begins to clear. When you take another, it thins even more. And when you keep moving, relentlessly, fear loses its power. It becomes nothing more than a fleeting shadow, a reminder that you are alive, that you are daring, that you are growing. But to take that first step, you need something stronger than fear. You need discipline, the steel in your soul that says, "I will act, no matter what." Discipline is not about perfection. It's not about feeling ready or waiting for the stars to align. It's about showing up when your heart races, when your palms sweat, when every fiber of your being screams to stay safe. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the choice to write one page when you fear the book will never be finished. It's the decision to make one call when you dread rejection. It's the resolve to take one step when the mountain seems too high. And with each step, you rewrite the story fear has tried to tell you. Let's talk about belief. Because discipline alone is not enough. You must believe deeply, fiercely, unapologetically in yourself. Not in some vague, fleeting hope, but in a conviction so strong it burns through doubt like fire through dry grass. Napoleon Hill, the man whose philosophy inspired this very journey, said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But belief is not a gift handed to you. It's a muscle you build. It's forged in the moments when you choose to trust your vision over the noise of fear. Think of Walt Disney, a young man with a dream to create stories that would touch the world. He faced rejection after rejection. He was told his ideas were foolish, that he lacked talent, that his vision was impossible. But Disney believed. He believed when the world laughed. He believed when his bank account was empty. He believed when his first company crumbled. And that belief, coupled with disciplined action, built an empire that still inspires millions today. What if he had listened to fear? What if he had let doubt win? The world would be darker for it. Your belief is your power. It's the spark that lights the fire of your potential. But belief without clarity is like a ship without a compass. You must know where you're going. You must see your destination so vividly that it pulls you forward, even when fear tries to drag you back. Clarity is the antidote to chaos. It's the map you draw when the fog of fear clouds your mind. Ask yourself, what do I want? Not what society wants, not what your fears allow, but what sets your soul ablaze. Is it a business that changes lives? A book that inspires generations? A legacy that outlives you? Define it. Write it down. Make it so real in your mind that you can taste it, feel it, see it. Because when your vision is clear, fear becomes a minor obstacle, not an impenetrable wall. Let's pause for a moment and think of Abraham Lincoln, a man born into poverty with no formal education, no wealth, no connections. He faced failure after failure, lost elections, a failed business, personal tragedies. Yet Lincoln had a vision: to serve, to unite, to lead with integrity. That vision guided him through the darkest nights of doubt. It gave him the strength to face the fear of leading a divided nation, to stand firm when the world seemed against him. His clarity of purpose turned a humble man into a legend. Your purpose is your anchor. Find it. Hold it. Let it guide you through the storm. Purpose is not something you stumble upon. It's something you choose. It's the decision to live for something greater than yourself. It's the reason you rise when fear tells you to stay down. Purpose is what drove Henry Ford to revolutionize an industry, not because he was fearless, but because he was driven by a vision bigger than his doubts. Purpose is what carried Nelson Mandela through 27 years of imprisonment, not because he was immune to fear, but because he knew his cause was worth it. Your purpose is your why. It's the fire that burns when everything else fades, and when you align your actions with that purpose, fear becomes irrelevant. But purpose demands discipline. It demands that you show up day after day, even when the world feels heavy. Discipline is the habit of doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's the choice to write when the page is blank, to train when your body aches, to speak when your voice trembles. Discipline is not glamorous. It's not a burst of inspiration. It's the quiet, relentless commitment to your vision. It's the decision to act when fear whispers, "Not yet." And every time you choose discipline over hesitation, you weaken fear's grip. Think of a river carving through a mountain. It doesn't break the stone in one mighty surge. It flows steadily, persistently, year after year, until the mountain yields. That's what discipline does to fear. It erodes it, slowly but surely, until what once seemed impossible becomes your reality. Every small action you take, every email sent, every skill learned, every fear faced, is a drop of water wearing down the stone. And one day, you'll look back and realize the mountain is gone. Now let's talk about action, because all the belief, clarity, and discipline in the world mean nothing if you don't act. Action is the ultimate rebellion against fear. It's the moment you say, "I am more than my doubts. I am more than my fears. I am the creator of my destiny." Action doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't wait for certainty. It doesn't wait for the perfect moment. Action is the spark that turns dreams into reality. Consider J.K. Rowling, a single mother struggling to survive, writing in cafes while her daughter slept. She faced rejection after rejection from publishers who said her story would never sell. Fear could have stopped her. Fear could have told her to give up, to play it safe, to abandon her dream. But she acted. She kept writing. She kept submitting. She kept believing. And because of her actions, the world was given Harry Potter, a story that changed millions of lives. Action is the bridge between your dreams and your reality. Cross it. But action is not reckless. It's not about leaping blindly into the void. It's about calculated steps, informed by your vision and fueled by your purpose. It's about knowing that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory over fear. And with each step, you gain momentum. With each step, you grow stronger. With each step, you become the person you were meant to be. Let's talk about gratitude. Because in the heat of chasing your dreams, it's easy to forget the ground you stand on. Gratitude is the lens that sharpens your perspective. It reminds you that every challenge is a lesson, every failure a teacher, every fear a guide. Gratitude doesn't erase fear, but it reframes it. It turns the unknown into an opportunity, the obstacle into a stepping stone. When you are grateful for your struggles, for your strengths, for the chance to try again, you rob fear of its power to paralyze. Think of Oprah Winfrey, born into poverty, abused as a child, told she would never succeed in a world that didn't look like her. Yet she cultivated gratitude for every opportunity, no matter how small, for every person who believed in her, for every moment she could rise again. That gratitude fueled her resilience. It gave her the strength to face fear, to push through rejection, to build a legacy that inspires the world. Gratitude is not weakness. It's power. It's the foundation of a mind that cannot be broken. And resilience, that's what gratitude builds. Resilience is not the absence of fear or failure. It's the refusal to let them define you. It's the choice to rise again and again, no matter how many times you fall. Resilience is what carried Thomas Carnegie through the chaos of building an empire. It's what drove Marie Curie to defy a world that told her women couldn't be scientists. It's what pushes you to keep going when fear says, "This is the end." Because it's never the end. Not as long as you're still breathing. Not as long as you're still willing to fight. Resilience is built through learning. Every fear you face, every failure you endure, is a lesson in disguise. Napoleon Hill called it the seed of equivalent benefit. In every setback, there is a gift, a chance to grow, to adapt, to become stronger. When you learn from your fears, you turn them into stepping stones. When you learn from your failures, you turn them into fuel. Learning is the alchemy that transforms pain into power, doubt into determination. Let's think of Steve Jobs, fired from his own company, humiliated, cast aside. Fear could have consumed him, doubt could have ended him, but he learned, he grew, he adapted, and when he returned to Apple, he didn't just rebuild a company, he redefined an industry. He turned failure into a masterpiece. That's what learning does. It takes the raw material of your fears and forges them into something extraordinary. And adaptability, that's the key to thriving in a world that never stops changing. Fear thrives on rigidity. It wants you to cling to the familiar, to stay small, to avoid the unknown. But adaptability is the antidote. It's the willingness to pivot, to evolve, to embrace the uncertainty of the journey. Adaptability is what allowed Elon Musk to face the fear of failure in industries as daunting as space travel and electric cars. It's what allows you to face the fear of change and say, I will find a way. Now let's bring this home. You are standing at the edge of your own canyon. The wind is howling. The abyss is calling. Fear is there, as it always will be. But you are not your fear. You are your belief. You are your discipline. You are your action. You are the purpose that burns within you, the vision that lights your path, the resilience that lifts you when you fall. You are the creator of your destiny. Destroying fear forever doesn't mean you'll never feel it again. It means you'll never let it stop you. It means you'll act every day with the discipline of a warrior, the clarity of a visionary, the heart of a dreamer. It means you'll leap into the unknown, not because you're fearless, but because you're unstoppable. So, take the leap, write the book, start the business, make the call, face the fear, act. Because on the other side of that canyon is not just a dream, it's your legacy. It's the life you were born to live. And no fear, no doubt, no shadow can take that from you. You are enough. You are ready. And the world is waiting.